how we've been designing the new Earth, what do we want to see, and it's been dawning on me. Okay, we need to move into direction mode. Okay, what are the moves to make it so, as Jean-Luc would say. Hey, Emily. Hi, Jose. Hey, Al. How are you? Al, I just created this field directory. If anybody's, wants to go online on my page, the field guide, if you click on there, I didn't send it via email, but I just posted what I'm calling the field directory, a living document of new Earth stewards. And this came out of conversations with Douglas Hart, who keeps sending beautiful links to people who are doing natural building all over the world. And looked up my Nubian vault houses, Al, and found like folks who, show you how to do it. And then we were talking to John Jandai, and Al and I were talking on Saturday with our 3.5-hour live stream, of which we had to do 2 parts because my phone died. And apologies again to anybody else who was there, anybody who was there. But I was like, oh my gosh, we need a directory. We need a place to put everybody. And that's the idea of the field guide, is the place to find each other, and folks who are already living in this natural way, seeding the gift economy, whatever we want to call the free world, and that we find each other. And so I asked ChatGPT to create these categories, and if you look up the field directory, you'll see them. But anyway, I was like, I want to link to Al there. It'd be regional categories. So Al, you would be under shelter and infrastructure, building in Nova Scotia. And then it's like whatever, the building is, there's a lot of similarities all over the world, but like you were saying, like in your region, it's too rainy. You wouldn't want to do, um, you know, any kind of underground dwellings, for instance, like an earthship. So anyway, it's like, it's got all of our categories. And the idea now is, okay, we've got the designs, we're collecting everybody, y'all connect up, and we're going to network and connect each other. Um, so I wanted to introduce that. I also wanted to talk about, this almost like placement orders that I've been thinking through, because in order to be free, truly free, like we're already free, we're already sovereign beings, but that and empire's already lost, but that hasn't been publicly acknowledged, and we need a kind of public acknowledgement. So I have so I wanted to like poll everybody. I wanted to talk about, um, um, I want to talk about these categories. I want to talk about this sort of placement orders. I also want to talk about, our brand for the world building party that we wanted to throw on. We want to throw on November 11th, because I met with the brand team today, and we're going to build the brand, have all of our assets for the party, and then I'll have the website built, and um, this is going to be under the banner of like this larger movement, this remembrance movement, this um, return movement of creating heaven. And so I want your feedback on to give to the brand team. Like, how do we want to, what's the look and feel for the party? And really the look and feel for the New Earth brand, us New Earth stewards. What's our look and feel, so that it's a collective thing. I will be in the a central spot here, kind of the hub, but I really see us as a chorus, and I'm just a weaver. I'm just connecting the dots, connecting folks together. So that was the very loose plan for today. And for anybody who's new here, go check out my page and go check out the field guide and get oriented to the large scope we have here as a team. Great working away. Love to see you. Love to see you too, Al. Leslie, hi. Hi, BD Safira and Kasef and Targeted Tactics. So That's it. So if you want to pull up the field directory, this is the idea. So a living document of new earth stewards, right? People who are already, so for me, I'd be under the healing category. I've given away all my healing tools, um, for waking up to oneness, for healing the pain in our system, for seeing through fear. As Al says, it's like see through the fear and feel through the pain. um, and then I've had on the podcast all kinds of other brilliant healers, and now we're talking world building, we're talking design. What do we want? Um, and then so it's the people who are already living it and who are already seeding the gift economy, or giving away their wisdom and medicine and codes, um, and and then and then really this is a remembrance for everybody. Like everybody has designs and codes and and will be part of this directory. So we also need a we need a place to list the first wave folks. People are already living it and doing it, and then a place to add on more folks. So in addition to this directory inside the field guide, what we really want is a place like Substack to, as I've been saying, become like the new PBS. So Dave and I are putting together, and this is the other thing I want to do today, put together a list of an ask list for Substack, because it's really Substack and then later the whole network, like the whole internet, being the field directory, because it's opened up, like the paywalls are dissolved and we aren't competing with each other, we're collaborating. And so inviting Substack to become this place where we can really gather and share, become the sharing economy hub. So I sort of want to start with that. You can pull up the field directory, you'll see the categories. I'm going to start to work on that. We have this party for 11/11. We'll talk about the brand for that. But I really want to write this letter to Substack, because everything is going to be easier if we have a place to meet, and right now we can only meet 3 people on a live stream, um, or you have to upload, a podcast. And so what I'd love, so here's where I start, is that Substack becomes like there's embedded things inside of Substack, like a Zoom meeting where we could have 100 people meeting, and it's live streamed. And people can hop on and contribute to the conversation, and the conversation is whatever, right? Water guardianship, and we talk water guardians from all over the world talk about their work and what we need and how to do it. And then we just start doing it. We stop. The whole point here is we're the authorities. We're the directors. We are sovereign. We aren't following the system anymore. It's already crumbling. They already know they lost. There's not really a they. It's really the spell we're all under, that there is an external authority. So it's to claim authorship inside of this place where we can witness one another's designs, we can witness one another's work, we can witness one another's authorship and go, no, this person is the author. They're the true leader. They're the true um, um, steward for this category. So that's the thing I want. I also want, for those who don't know, Evan Hill created what we're calling gift coin. I came up with this idea. I've been looking, it's like gift economy. How do we get it going? I was thinking about converting Bitcoin, but he came up with a brilliant thing where you it's a protocol. It's in the field guide as well, for making Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin native protocol, making any digital currency into a gift ledger instead of a work ledger, or converting it. So we're looking for developers and that kind of thing. And then I would love Substack to be like, to make it really easy to utilize gift coin, to be like the gift coin place, right? So sort of like a central bank, but for gifting. Um, and then, yeah, so those are, and then I would love other categories. So, spiritual and mystic and what some people call a cult. Um, Faith and religion, I don't really fit in there because it isn't faith and it isn't religious. This isn't a reintroduction, a remembering of our true nature as source, our true nature as beings who move toward fulfillment, both individually and collectively. That's a fact. That's recognizable. I witnessed it multiple times myself and everybody I've ever worked with or known. Um, if I have a chance to help them out, and they help me out. So these are truths about our being, um, that that don't fit into any current categories. So I would want that, and just to basically make it very easy for us to meet and to live stream um, and to donate money. So whether it's gift coin, but it's also like in addition to subscription, which I think that model will start to falter, um, make it really, really easy to do big one-time donations. So, and that can be through Giftcoin, where um, you d- we have a GoFundMe. I have a GoFundMe. Oracle has a GoFundMe. I'm asking all my other friends and yourself on here too, for your dream, create a GoFundMe because the wealth transfer is happening. Get ready for that, but just make it really, really easy to send millions of dollars. Oracle's GoFundMe is at 1 billion. I love it. So to make it very, very easy for one of the defectors of Empire, uh, a billionaire who has seen the light, to very easily seed um, we the new Earth stewards. So that's my wish list, right? My ask list. My what did Dave call it? My IT ticket. So let's start there. We want to create an IT ticket for Substack. I'll make it into a post that goes into the newsletter. It'll also be a note, and we can basically restack it and like it, and tag Substack, the Substack team, Chris Best, Substack in general, and Dave's coming up with a list of all the Substack team members who have a Substack page. And then we just, because we run this shit. We run this shit. They work for us. So this is the new guard is here. The changing of the guard has happened. And we are simply putting our IT ticket in, because what's good for us is good for Substack, is good for everyone. That's just how life works. So my fulfillment, my ask is good for you. Yours is good for me. So we just ask for it. We just put the ticket out. So on my IT ticket is Zoom capability, um, uh, gift coin, easy donation capability, and what was the third thing? New categories. There's another big thing I just talked about. You'll remind me. um, yeah, that's basically it. Okay. So what's yours? Right? What is, because, and this is really it. It's like, what's the dream? Uh, what do you see that I don't like? Where, and also, of course, like, no censorship, no shadow banning, right? So, because that's worse everywhere, but it's creeping in on Substack because supposedly the venture capitalists bought it off. But we are not going to. We are just going to flood the system. We are going to call that out. We are going to insist on our IT ticket, and that's it. Because the way that this is going to go is the whole network is going to be converted into a free social network, a free sharing economy. Um, because we're at the end. We're at the end of the empire story. So it behooves Substack to get on board with this sooner than later, versus us having to create a new um, social media hub. And it can be easily converted. Like, if all the tech guys came over and were like, okay, we'll get this going, and then we're going to link it up with TikTok, or link it up with Twitter, um, and those will just be other mediums, other ways to communicate, but they're all part of the same free network. Right, that's where we're headed. That's the only way, that's the only sanity, is an open source, decentralized network. And I just see Substack as the first sane, open, easily, easily shareable. So it's in the sharing economy node, just a node. So that's my there's my download. You know what's on my mind. So let's start there. What's on your IT ticket for Substack? What do you want? What's the dream so that we can all just be together and create together and share, how to make this the field directory, the commons, right? This is the free commons. What would make it into the first hub of the free commons, in addition to big Zoom capability, live stream, gift coin, easy donations, new categories, no censorship? What do you think? You didn't know this is a participatory live stream. all of my live streams are participatory. We're all in this together. Are you with me? Is this making sense? Right? Where we just, as Oracle said, we just decree. I decree Substack to be the first node of the free social network with all capability for sharing without competition. Right? It ushers in the sharing economy. And really, the categories we have here. So I'll read them off for anybody who's not online. Earth and ecology, regenerative ag, permaculture, agroforestry. I'm just going to read. I'm not going to read all the subheadings. Earth and ecology, shelter and infrastructure, healing and well-being, culture and expression, knowledge and learning, community and governance, spirit and ceremony, technology and networks, nourishment and foodways, generations and kinship, and global weaving. Like, those could be the categories for Substack. You know what I mean? They're more reflective of our actual life domains and what we have to share. If Substack don't tag alone, we get on someone that will. Yeah, exactly. It's like, here's what we want, Substack. um, this is it. Like, or we're out of here. If that's what you mean, we get on someone else that will. Yeah, we'll tag, if you mean this, it's like we tag everybody who we know works for Substack, who's in Substack, and we just flood the tickets, right? It's just IT ticket after IT ticket, and that's how to do it, is basically flood the system. This is the idea for the World Party, where we're designing, right? We're flooding the live streams of all social media with our vision for the new Earth. Everybody's going to see, oh my gosh, we all have the same dream. Oh my gosh, everybody already knows how to do this. Oh my gosh, we don't need them at all, and we will just walk into this party that's meant to be the Earth. So we just flood the system. So this is the same spirit of just flood the distortion field with signal, flood the noise with signal, right? So Substack is just a bit of a distortion still. There's distortion fields everywhere. We just flood it with clarity. The signal, just like a bell, just rings through the air. So, okay, great. Something, I'm making my better, something like a wallet for gift coin. Yeah, exactly. Content carrier, have you looked at the gift coin white paper that Evan wrote? It's on, because it's basically, it's like, but you're right. It's like this is a protocol that works with any other wallet. But it's like a Substack wallet to utilize gift coin in. So yeah, yes. My list of categories is great. Okay, good, Douglas. I messaged you. Yeah, it came from me and ChatGPT. Pretty good. So, okay, great. A wallet for gift coin. And then can we imagine how that works? Like is it basically like it's basically like Substack would be its own GoFundMe wallet, like it would be this safe central bank to distribute funds, something like that, like the community wallet. Um, and then everybody has their own account and it's done through Giftcoin. It's done through this protocol. They are their own account with their Substack wallet, so because right now what we have is like we're making GoFundMe's but GoFundMe is corrupt, right? They were the ones that blocked the funds for the truckers. You know what I mean? Like they're so who knows? Now I'm not lately. I'm not a worry. I'm like it's already done. Like we really just need the medium because the energetics have already shifted. So I'm like GoFundMe works for us. But what I want is so I'm not like worried about them. They're not going to get away with what they did with the truckers. What they did 5 years ago, they're not going to be able to get away with it. Or 4 years ago, whenever it was. So I'm not really concerned about that, but what I want is it to be so easy, right? So it's be like a 2 clicks of a button so that like I don't know if y'all have heard it's rapture. It's the rapture today. The Christians are really big in the rapture. And who knows? This is very rapture. This is like in my view, the rapture is all of us just living in sanity and in the bliss that's our birthright, that we're all in rapture. It's an energetic thing. It's not a separate Jesus figure coming to take everybody. By the way, side note, I have to tell you about the bishop who thinks Jack Dorsey is the second coming of Jesus Christ. and how, and I wrote to him. So that's a side note. This will be a fun little anecdote. But you know what I mean? Where it's like it's just super easy to share and seed, right? Because Oracle gets this $1 billion. This is the woman to give the $1 billion to. Everything around her will flourish. Not just her family, not just where she lands in Mexico, not just it's just going to be just flourishing, right? You give me $1 billion, we're gonna we're good, you know. So it literally is just, and it goes for everybody. Everybody who has the heart of who knows we are built for fulfillment, who knows the new earth is here, and who's ready to create things that serve everyone because that's what their being is going to do. We don't naturally compete. To get us the money quickly is just going to be great for everybody, right? And it's like I want to do it now because everybody's seeing the collapse, right? Everybody's seeing like, oh my God, like they're scrambling for the US dollar is on its way out, right? It's like, yeah. So how do we get these these um these folks who are on the verge of defecting and giving their money away? Like there are already billionaires who are doing this. And it's like, here, let's make it super, super easy. This is where everybody comes. Everybody's vouching for everybody here. We all got good hearts. We all want fulfillment for everyone. Here's our category. Here's what we're working on. Whatever your particular passion is, right? I think of like Brian Johnson, poor man is this Don't Die project, right? He would invest in the healers and medicine people, right? And he would invest in tech because that's where he comes from. He would invest in these things like if he only knew that, hey, Brian, you don't actually die, and there are ancient ways to nourish your body that are a little more effective than treating yourself like a robot. Um, you know what I mean? So like make it really easy for the billionaires, make it really easy for the wealthy to just click over. So yes, something like a wallet. Um, Bitcoin is a CBDC surveillance trap. It is not private money. Better look at EpiCash. Ooh, epiccash.com. Great. Thank you, Ostipop. Will you look at the Giftcoin protocol and see how it links with EpiCash? This is not my domain, the whole money thing. I just I've just seen the transfer. I'm the oracle type, and the healer, and I'm like, this is a thing. um, how do we do it? And I know it's like I know people, and I know everybody can heal, and I know the billionaires are going to want they already do want a way to seed the new earth, and they want it's basically a path of like a soul retrieval, right? Where it's a convergence. It's a convergence of those of us, and an alignment with those of us, um, what do we say? Birthing the new earth and those defecting from the old. And we work together so well, but we need to help that convergence. So I'm not, tech is not my thing. So I'm going to leave it to you all. And Evan created the Giftcoin white paper to like hand over to developers. So I'm sure there's a lot of other projects. It's like, how do they converge? How do we make it one project so that we're not in these weird competitive silos, right? That we've been in forever. It's like we need a gathering spot. We need one coin or one um, process for the transfer, right? So will you go see how those connect? I'm going to assign you that job. Epicash and right, because I can't do all this stuff. I gotta brand the party, and I gotta you know whatever strikes me to do. I just follow my heart, and I'm like, okay, we got a field directory. Okay, we got a gift coin. Okay, we got now somebody else is going to develop it, right? Hey, Wildfire Rose, creation and uptake of these sorts of community currencies can be a little challenging, but totally worth it, I think. Maybe there can be a multiplicity of coins. Michael Linton from the Let system, based in Vancouver Island, may have some ideas. Okay, great. So this is perfect. Um, Content carrier, will you go to the field directory, right, and put that name, right? Like we need a place to collect all these names, and maybe you're the one to reach out, right? So, and maybe you and Astipop can get together. It's like there's a Let's system that was it Douglas? Somebody else was linking to the Safaru network. Douglas, the Epic Cash, the gift coin idea. How do we link everybody, right? Is the Let's system, is it the same as Giftcoin? Is it different than Epicash, right? How do we converge everything? Um, and how do we converge everyone? So I'll ask you to reach out, right, and connect. Um, and and then I can list you all right in technology and networks, right? So technology and networks has open source tools and platforms. Is that where it is? Um, where's the financial one? Oh no, community and governance, gift economy and resource sharing, right? So the Let system, Epicash, whatever would all be under that category. And then, the idea is everybody's working together to come up with one system, right? So we're decentralized, but we have so it's like it's all going to be open source, decentralized world, right? Localization is the thing, but we still have one network and one. It's because we're also global, right? So what are the things we need to be global? Well, information and knowledge and wisdom, right? That's an intellectual property. There's no intellectual property because there's no ownership anymore, right? So think no ownership, but do need ways to transition off of money, right? It'll be that tokens, money won't be really necessary, but we do need it for a while. So what's the global gift economy coin system process? What's the global who's running the global network or web? I'm starting to not like the word network. Don't like the idea of being caught in a network, nor do I like the word work. So I'm just starting to say web. So my post is now called The Web in the Garden. So it's Indra's web, right? The communal mind, which is already the case. We already have a communal mind. We're just linking technology with it. And you know, It's just for before we're all psychic, which is where it's already happening. But anyway, the web and the garden, which is the 3D, the form. And so we need infrastructure that connects everything in the garden. We need infrastructure that connects everything in the web. Um, and so it's decentralized, but we do need one system, right? And what we have now are all these people working on all these projects and then I know they're all pieces of the puzzle, right? Like Evan's paper links up with the idea for Epicache, and y'all can figure it out, right? Um, so that's my thought about it. If you have another way to one coin to rule them all, hmm. One coin to rule them all. That's our catchphrase. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Content carrier. I don't know your first name. If you don't want to share, it's fine. But to rule them all, exactly. One web to rule them all. One system to rule them all. The thing is, we need. It's not. It's not a rule anymore. There's no rule. There's no overlords. we're it. So one coin to. I guess we got to keep it. We need these words to transition, Like I say sharing economy. It's not really an economy. It's just the practice of sharing that we will remember together, Um, but I love it. I love it. One coin to rule them all. Exactly. Hi, Netafe. I'm sorry I haven't posted your talk from yesterday. Oh, it was so good. I do this thing where after a live stream, I'm just like, I'm on to the next thing, and I just don't do it that day. And then this morning I had my brand meeting. I'm not a tech guy, but can help gather information and make connections with developers that for sure will appreciate your initiative. Okay, great. That would be awesome. That's really what we need, right? We just need everybody to start coming together and create basically task forces under the categories, right? So like I was thinking about John Jendai's like incredible team, right? All the Douglas says he has hundreds of videos, like whatever you need to know about natural building, and Cobb and straw bale and everything. He's got it. But then there's I know all these other com builders, and then the Nubian Vault folks who are using clay, and it's like it's like where's that? It's like there's representatives from each one and a task force to give really easy protocols for natural building, and then that's in a central hub, so that the directory, and then that's like Substack. Do you want to be that? Are you the new PBS? Are you the directory for now? Because we're sharing everything now. It's over. The ownership model is over. It just can't hold up. So we just start flooding all this sharing. It was like, who's going to organize it? I'll organize it for now, but the field guide and the field directory on my little page, is like, I really want the whole thing to be, I want the whole web to be the field guide and the field directory, right? Where everybody shares their codes, their medicine, their wisdom, when we all have them. And then there's a very easy way of organizing all of that. So we'll start here, but that's the vision. That's where we're headed. So it's one directory to rule them all, one web to rule them all, one web to guide them all. Let's say that one coin to guide them all, one web to guide them all, right? And it's really us. There's none of them. So is it one coin to guide us all, one web to guide us all, right? One party to free us all. I'm going to keep using this phrase. See, my brand people are going to love this. Communal mind. Yes, it's already a communal mind. It's already a hive mind, right? Like my thoughts, it's like we didn't go to the shopping mall of thoughts and pick our thoughts. We just get what we get, right? And I remember when I was talking with Tyra on the live stream, and we were just talking, and then Gift coin came as a phrase, right? I'm like, I don't own that, right? Um, that was all of our idea. And one coin to rule them all is not that just came through Content Carrier, right? So, and y'all like what is it? What's the biblical phrase? When two or more are gathered in my name, when two or more are in aren't here with agenda, right? We're just here playing together. The ideas flow, and so that's always been. There's no shortage of ideas coming through. We just need to organize them. So thank you for connecting some dots here. But yes, it's like we're getting together, and then it's not quite like a hive mind. It's like we're not drones. It's not a colony, right? Um, we all are done with colonization and the colony idea, or we're not worker bees, right? We are each full on divine creators as part of the one mind, the one body. Um, so as Oracle calls us, Thalit, right? We are pure source in this unique vessel, and we are each channels or nodes of that one mind. And then healing is really opening up our node, right? Opening our mind up, not believing fear thoughts, not going into old stories of what this place is and who we are and all that limitation stuff, that none of it's real. And then opening the body, we open the channel like a dendrite in the mind, right? And our crown chakra's open, our tailbone's open, our system, our torus field is opened and flowing. And then we're just channeling this one mind that always wants fulfillment for itself, which is everyone. Like life doesn't want part of herself, part of himself, part of itself to not be fulfilled because it's one body. So we can trust that which comes through in this collective mind, this unified mind, this this one ah it's so much better than a hive mind. It's because it's not drone, right? It's not a um it's so alive, it's so creative, right? It's just endless creativity and expansion, right? Oracle says that ascension, right, which that word it needed redefinition, is remembrance and expansion. So that's it. It's like we're all ascending, we're all rapturing, but really it's a remembrance of who we are as source and as the unique built-in storyline. Like if we let go of our old story and our old identities, this story that life writes for us is epic and amazing for every single one of us and for us together. So we're remembering ourselves and our true nature, and then it just expands. So that's what ascension is. It doesn't mean we're floating off the earth. It means we're really embodied in her and in our full expression as unique individuals, and then together as one. So, and every time we have a conversation, and every time we hear a little something and see through a thought, and every time y'all connect dots on Giftcoin or anything else, we all, it opens up, it opens up the channels, and it's like I've been seeing this, and so many others have been seeing this. It's like the channels are open, like it's here, like it's time to get together. um, and the and as the collapse occurs, right, we've got all these folks who believed in the old system, who were captivated by it as we all were, in the hive mind, in the real kind of hive mind, the brainwashed, like the belief in separation and in competition and the whole thing. um that the enslavement program that is dead, and then it's just going to be everybody looking for guidance, like, well, where do we go with our 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 life energy, and where do we go with the stored energy, the money? It's like, come here, we got you. We got it, we know how to do this thing, because we're tapped in, and we're just the first wave that's tapped in. Everybody will be tapped in, but we're claiming our spots as the new as the first round of leaders. right? Everybody here. Hi, no worries. All is well. Okay, good. Partisan politics would be the death of this republic. Yeah, partisan politics makes no sense, right? It's all in like partisan politics in like nation states. There's no borders. There's no borders. We just made them up. There's no countries. This is all the hive mind. This is all this story. Um, babies don't. Babies are not interested in your idea of the border of two states or two countries. We have to be taught this division, and it isn't real. So, there's this massive awakening. With we're seeing through, like the Western folks are seeing through the lie of Israel as a country, and as a result of that, we're seeing through the lie of America as a country, and by logical extension, we're going to see through the lie of all countries and of empire itself, which is really, it's just one. It's a global system, a global government. So we're seeing through it very quickly, and it's time for this just declaration of interdependence, a declaration of one land, one people, one earth, one family. And where those who've realized it first, are welcoming our very lost siblings, who got lost in the sauce. We all got lost in the sauce, and now we're rediscovering, remembering. So we need a channel for them to come through. A path for them to walk, and to make it really, really easy and welcoming. Like, yes, yes, you've seen the error of your ways. We've seen the error of ours and of yours. Cool. Here's your atonement path. Um, give us that stored energy in the form of gift coin, and we will build you. We the people, we the awake ones, will build heaven, because that's all any of us want. Once we're awake, we don't. It's like the old world is like, why would anybody choose that? Like that's what's happening. Is like we're coming together, and we're claiming the new world, speaking it into existence, decreeing it. Who's going to argue with freedom and fulfillment for all? Like, which is very possible, and we have all the systems in place to do it. So we're claiming it, and making it easy. Um, One love to connect us all. Exactly. Fascinating, Captain. But is it logical? It's very logical. It's 100% logical, right? What I just said about the collapse of countries is logical. It's just it's A plus B equals C, right? Israel falls, America falls, the American dollar falls, Israel falls, the American dollar falls, right? The petrodollar falls. What's holding everything else up, right? Um, and then as a healer, right, walking people through the process of awakening, feeling and sensing and knowing our true nature is oneness. It's very logical what happens next. There's no fight. There's no enemy. There's no hook into the old story, which is all based in fear, a story of separation, that there's an other, that there's an enemy, that there's an other country, that there is a bad guy in the form of a Jewish person, a more melanated person, a Muslim person, a whatever, right? Just a story of another. It's all just a story. So by logical extension, when this other falls, when you no longer believe in another in this way, um, the next one falls, and the next one falls like dominoes. And so I've watched that in myself. I've watched that in everyone I know. I'm watching it on the big screen, right? I'm watching collectively people who were America first, in my own personal life, are like, America's a lie. It's like, yeah, it's a lie. It's all a lie. We're all together in this. We're all one. Freedom, unless everyone's free, no one's free. Unless everyone's fulfilled, no one's fulfilled. We can't work inside of a lie. It's a prison camp. So the awakening of that is by logical extension. We need the systems that um, align with nature. So yeah, it's very, reality is logical. It works. um, non-linearly and linearly. Um, and I sometimes see that as like the feminine sees the 360, sees the big picture, and like is a circle, right? The symbol of the circle, and then the masculine, again, gender neutral, sees in lines in the logical, right? And each one of us has both. That's why I guess I speak logic, but and so it's like logical extension. It's like um, the stepwise process of um, of uh, of what occurs post realization, right? And so, um, so for instance, like with the coin idea, right? Bitcoin is this. Yeah, I agree. I mean, all money is problematic because it's extractive and it's based on a hallucination of scarcity and debt and all that. So the truth is gift. The truth is abundance of the world. And so logically, if when we connect this gift coin idea um, to money, right? The new concept of money, and or just the coin to rule them all is it's a gift. It's an offering. It's not an IOU. It's not a symbol of debt. It's a symbol of a gift, and the ledger turns into just a record of gifting. It's just by logical sense, it's just going to be gift, 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 gift. I mean, we've seen this in in small sharing economies. We used to do this. Again, economy is not the right word, but our ancient heritage, our ancestral heritage, is we just shared everything. That's not an economy. That was just living. And so, but now we are a global network, a and and the level of abundance cross culturally will be like nothing. Like we have to rewrite our story of what's possible because, and it is already rewritten. It is so much abundance. We have to think like whatever your heaven is times a million, like times 1,000, however, like how as much as you can imagine, because it's really heaven. Um, because that's what we're built for. That's actually just true. It's actually logical. If we let a child I'm going to have on Danielle tomorrow from TikTok. Liberated Littles is her name, her tag, her handle on TikTok. She's coming on. She has the most beautiful um, daycare, right? That's just kids in a garden playing and um, basically like free range children, right? And she knows it's child centered. Everything starts there. If everyone was raised with total freedom to follow their own fulfillment, which we can all basically reparent ourselves by giving ourselves that now, and we're doing that. We will literally just create fulfillment. We will create heaven. That's what any ecosystem does when it's free. Any is what we will do. It's just what we will do. The only issue is the freedom. It's just it's the alchemizing of the old systems into the new, and it'll just be boom, 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 abundance, and it'll go logically. It'll go in a line. It'll be like, and this is the other thing. I'll get to the Jack Dorsey story. Is that the other thing I've seen is very clearly that there's like a billionaire defector that like acts as the lead position to especially wealthy men, right? Where it's like, oh, he's investing in gift coin, and that it works just like a line. It's like dominoes just fall. Oh, he's he's like the Jesus figure, the lead figure that aligns, right? Creates a line of um, attuned, alignment. It creates alignment, literally, logical, linear alignment. So, yeah, and nature works nonlinear and linearly. It works in circles and arcs and lines and all of it. So, I hope that answers your question. Sorry, I went on a little riff there. Um, our trust in the system is what holds it up, and yes, it's the system, man. It is. It's not the people. It's like nobody likes the system. Absolutely nobody. That tells you it's unnatural. That tells you it's time to dismantle it and create, um, living systems that are reflective of nature. Because only everyone doesn't like it. Only everyone, if they really ask themselves, if they let if they let themselves dream, like, what do you really want? We don't want this. We don't want a job. We don't want, right? We want we want freedom. We want to just play. And we're all wired for that. So it's like, this is a no-brainer. But it's really, being coming from psychology, it's literally just a mental wake up. It's like, just wake up, wake up. It was a spell. It was always just a spell that we were limited or separate, that there was an other, that we weren't good enough, that we were worthless, that we had to prove ourselves, that we weren't free. Lies, 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 lies. So, did you see the Charlie Kirk memorial? I saw flashes of it. It's a very elaborate staged event from what I can see. You know, um, the the yeah, the staging isn't working anymore. The big puppet show is not. Nobody's buying it. It's the last, the last breaths of a dying system. So here we are building the new. And it's an easy sell. It's an easy sell. I was talking with the brand team for the party, and they're like, "What's the brand?" And I was like, "Freedom for everyone." Like, like, then I was like, brand. The word brand comes from the cattle industry. We're branded and graded, as chattel, you know, and cows need to be free. Everybody needs to be free. No more branding and grading. It's like, there's one brand. Which is us. The brand is us. That's the brand. I'll share that with them. Because it's not just we the people, it's we everyone, right? It's we all, plants and animals, everyone free. The brand is us. It's both, Dave and Bob. Yes, yes, exactly. Can you dig potlatch? I can dig it. If in the future we will own nothing, how then we own money? We won't. It's a tool. It's a tool to get us sharing again, right? Like imagine there's so much abundance, right? So people talk about trade, and I was giving the example of, like, I love Moroccan natural dyed fabrics, right? So I would want a shipment, or really, more of like a hovercraft delivery. It's got to be something different than drones, and they got to be fun, and they got to be quiet. We already have the technology for these kinds of crafts. Um, Whatever. I want my Moroccan fabrics drop off, but imagine, like, everything's unleashed. All the information is free. All energy is free. So there's no need to charge for the gas or the whatever, the shipping fee, because first of all, it's delivered via, you know, aircraft, hovercraft. Um, and also I already have the I like somebody shipped me the plants that create the dyes at my, and I'm growing them in my garden or whatever. Um, you know what I mean? Like, the information's already free, so I'm less reliant on needing to go to Morocco. But let's say I want to get the fabrics from Morocco. There's so much abundance. There's so much. It's all free to get it there. It's just gifted, right? It's literally ask and receive, which is the Bible idea, right? And that's all we need to do. We're creating the world, so it's just ask and receive, because everything is here. Everything's already available, and we will manifest, or um, it'll be this just in natural emergence uh, every day, right? Like, everything's here, everything's available. We've already got everything. And the folks in Morocco will be so abundant with the gifts in their region, that they will be very happy to send gifts to me, and I will be very happy to send gifts to them. It's not a trade. It's not even an exchange. I don't like that word anymore either. It's just a sharing. And that sharing will be being paid forward, being paid over and over and over again, so much that we won't, like, the tokens will just be like we've said, like, they'll be just like Gil in a video game. It's like, They'll be play tokens, right? I'm thinking of it like if you're in an arcade, it's fun to have play tokens, and we can play with tokens. So I dump for the Moroccan folks, right? I dump 100 million play tokens or whatever into their account, and they have more than they could ever need to buy the local fruits that at where they live, right? And by the time we have this coin unleashed, it's just sort of for play. It's like the fruit's already being delivered at your door, but here's some extra coin for fun. That's how it's going to go. That's how it is. Like that's reflective of reality. So we have to think of the coin as a play coin, just in the way we would play with money as kids, and it can be helpful, right? It's like gift coin could be a really helpful way to just as a reflective of value, but there's gonna be so much sharing, and it's all gonna be free to do it. There won't be anything to hinder the sharing of both information and material, right? And then like everything can be recycled, right? So but you could stay in the house you're in, or I see a very big migration going on, right? And so all the houses are available, and it's like we sort of like it's not really claiming, but it's like this is where I want to live, and this house is here, and um, we might have to like pay people for their houses at first. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, but really, in the end, like if we go, there's some steps here. Imagine like it's all just shared, right? And so there's no reason to steal. There's no reason to harm. There's no right. The only reason anybody harms and steals is because they're not free. We have to make money. We are enslaved. We have to do that to survive. So nobody has to do anything to survive anymore. It's just going to be play. And like John Dye talks about, right, in his community, they work, but it's all just play. Maybe a couple hours a day when they're building a house. You know what I mean? Like it's all just fun. And that's just one community. Imagine that on a global scale, the amount of abundance. So this is where this is the thinking. Um we will another how we own money. It is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. This goes to my kind of summons of these men. So I'm going to read the rest of your comments, but I'm like, and I need help from you men. In order to like it's imagine the energy's already shifted. We're already there. And we're kind of like the new guard, the new guardians. But we need a visible changing of the guard. And so, we decree it here, we talk about it here, we're leading, we're imagining the new earth, right? And we're doing it together, and it's really fun. But we need that to be visible. We need security. We need guards. We need guards to actually show strength, men to show strength, and that they will not be daunted by literally like going and surrounding. I want no violence words. Um, Converging at certain spots. Right? I tried to talk to my chat GPT about this, and it kept telling me like I can't talk to you about insurrection or things. I was like, well, I don't recognize any authorities, so you're gonna have to work with me here. I don't um, I don't recognize man-made laws. So and then it like adjusted. But basically I have it's like a visible media covered changing of the guards where I have a list of men, the on ground leads, um, to gather a group of men, right? They're basically ex-military guys. David Goggins, Jocko Willink, Sean Ryan, Nims Purja, these guys, Joe Rogan, these guys who've been on Joe Rogan's podcast who are they're like tough guys with hearts of gold. And they don't, they just, they're like, They want no government, they want freedom, they want to just play, but they don't have a director, they don't have a team lead. And I was channeling for those who don't know, my great-great-great-great-grandfather was, General William Tecumseh Sherman, the man who coined the term "war is hell" and, won the Civil War for us. Um, he was so brutal in burning the South in his march to the sea because he wanted the war to end as soon as possible. That's my spirit. I'm like, what's the most efficient way to get this thing done? Um, and carrying his torch, it's like I don't want to do. There's no war. It's a nonviolent movement, but the best way to do it is to show strength, just to show. Um, I have to say white men's strength, because this is not the fight, which is not a fight. This is not for highly melanated folks to do. This is for less melanated folks. This is our job. This is our time. And it's not women to do it, it's men to put their bodies on the line. The people who put their bodies on the line need to be these men, these strong men with power and influence. Um, and so the idea is all these men are called on to gather all the men they know, the tough guys, and literally just show up at the places of power on the earth. So I ranked with my GPT the top 7 places, including the internet. And I have 12 on-ground leads, like the guys I mentioned. I have 5 media leads, Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald, Ian Carroll, Michael Schellenberger, Aaron Mate. And then I have 1 digital lead, which is Jack Dorsey, which will lead me to his story. And the idea is, men, gather your men. And every able-bodied man and ask each man to do the same. We need big numbers and big media coverage. And then go to the Vatican, Bank of England, Palace of Westminster, CERN, United Nations headquarters, the Pentagon, and then the internet. I want Jack to look at the gift coin and work with, I don't know what, it's like basically be the lead for the free internet. Gather his folks because he wants that. He's ready for no state. He's a cypherpunk at heart. All these guys are liberators at heart. We all are at heart. So anyway, I'm working on I think the article or whatever is going to be called "Men, This Is Your Bat Signal." I'll just read it. We all know the show is over. Everyone is ready for the curtain call. We need a few good men with power and influence to claim their sovereignty and usher the stage actors into their retirement. Men, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to secure the areas below. Once these locations are flooded with good actors, men who want freedom for all the world, the free world is ours. The handful of people still upholding the system will be compelled to let go, seeing we are no longer giving them our power. The enslavers already know they've lost. However, we need them to hand us the keys in public so that everyone can witness the changing of the guard and a peaceful handoff can be observed. And then I list the locations and the men. I'm saying I'm commissioning the following men as team leads. And I said, yeah, Jack, you are commissioned to develop Gitcoin, a digital currency protocol to usher in the gift or sharing economy and to gather open source internet advocates. We need you to free our digital space and make the wealth distribution seamless. And then I said, when the job is done, we'll throw a party for the ages, a global family reunion to usher in our new free epoch. It will be more beautiful than we can imagine. The world will turn from a stage into a garden, literally heaven on earth. So that's the next piece I'm working on. And I love what you said, Bob. Have you heard about one's personal brand in business? I don't know what that means. Bob, tell me more. But tell me your thoughts about this post for the men. Do you think that barter money is a sui generis fiction? Yeah, I do. Lionel. Yes. I think it's a story we were told. I don't see it. I see, like my friend Christine's shop closed here in San Luis called Gaia's Gallery, the most beautiful crystal shop in the world. And she was a beautiful business owner. She had to close because all retailers, everything's Like, all business is all falling apart. And we were like, "Yeah, we just wanna give gifts." She's like, "My favorite thing to do in the world is give gifts." I was like, "Me too. All I wanna do is just give gifts." It's like, "Yeah, that's our wiring. That's literally our wiring." And she's like I was like, "I don't," she's like, "I don't wanna shop." I was like, I don't want you to have a shop. I don't wanna have a I don't wanna charge $10,000 an hour." You know what I mean? I'm just giving everything away. But I do that because I don't it's like, I want the old I don't if you're gonna make me work in the old earth, you gotta pay me $10,000 an hour because I really just wanna give everything away. So these sort of stories of how we used to barter and da 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 da. There's a great book called The Gift by Lewis Hyde who talks about the real way that native cultures that we as indigenous people worked is actually just is through gift, and it was just sharing, and that every time there was an exchange, that the gift was amplified, that it worked in abundance, right? So in the same way that if we grow a tomato, there's 20 more tomato tree or tomato plants inside that one tomato. That's that's how life works. So that's how it used to be. So I think we have this notion of trade and notion of it's a zero sum game, right? It's absolutely a psyop. One of my favorite movies is the movie Arrival, where the aliens come down and they have this big scary tool, and it's just, hey, how about a non-zero sum game? How about a win-win game, right? Which isn't a game; it's just playing, it's just being. And so yeah, and we're a little stuck on that, right? It's like we're gonna trade and it's like, no, we don't need to trade, we just share. There's so much abundance, right? It's a scarcity brainwash that, that has been that we've all grown up in, but it's lies, 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 lies. And so Charles Eisenstein calls it, like, living in the gift, and then, yeah, people who've really done the research on our ancient ways, it was pure sharing. And then there's pockets, right? There's pockets in Africa, there's pockets in Asia, it's pockets everywhere, um, where people are sharing. But a lot of the Western world ones it's still isolating, it's still owned, the land is still owned, there's still, like, agenda, instead of it being really truly free. Um, so yeah, I have zero doubt that we are built for gift giving and it will be abundance in no time. Like, in no time. It's like we really won't be able to even fathom it. It's like we really have to let our minds expand and expand because it's meant to be heaven. I love the movie, for those who haven't seen it, Biggest Little Farm, where it's this couple that they just had a vision to build this farm. They were not farmers, and all they did was rebuild the soil, and it became this flywheel where, like, the level of abundance and, like, everything worked. Like, it was like they had snails on their fruit trees, and that was a real problem, but then they learned that the ducks in their pond would eat the snails, and everything worked together, and everybody flourished, right? Once they got the flywheel going, the ducks flourished, and the owls flourished, and the groundhogs flourished, and the ground cover flourished, and the fruit trees flourished, and on and on and on because, of course, all we needed to do was get the flywheel going. So that's how to think of all of this. It's like gift coin or anything else is to get the flywheel going. This these placements of these men to just show presence, right? Presence is probably the word. Show presence in these important nodes, right? All these places were built on ley lines and really powerful energetic nodes to go put strong men there who are advocates for all, to go put their bodies there and draw the line there is like, that's it. That'll it's just, that'll just show us. So, yeah, it's just fiction that scarcity and lack. Been imagining sharing my gifts with women without website, without prices or time, or even what a session with me would be like. And I asked them to share what their intuition guides them to share. This would require them to lean into their scarcity mindset, their programming around sharing, around money, abundance. Yes, 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 yes. Lamakoshi, beautiful. This is what we're doing. This is what my podcast is. I just gave away all my healing tools, and everybody I have on are brilliant healers and what we call ourselves. Like, we're just brilliant teachers, healers, gift givers, wisdom keepers, everybody I've had on, Netta Faye is here, everybody here. I mean, y'all are incredible. Um, but this is the idea. We're seeding this sharing space, and then inviting Substack and everyone to join us. And then here's the truth of it, right? How, like, first of all, we have these incredible gifts, right? We're incredible, like 30 years in the healing fields, right? I've been around, I've explored every nook and cranny of healing. Here's everything, right? And everybody I've had on, same thing. Here it is. Here's how to live, Here's natural living. We're giving it away for free. We're, we have expertise. How is anybody in the old framework going to compete with that? If we're just talking competition, how are you going to compete with free and excellent? It's like you can't. And the truth is, it's already out there. The truth is, the only thing is that all this wisdom hasn't been organized, and that we can't. We have like paywalls. It makes it really cumbersome. Like I wanted to go explore all of John's stuff, his YouTube of everything about natural building, but it's like, got other things to do, but Douglas has, and then it can be in this directory. So, yeah, it's like it's just having a hub where we all share these things, and then we'll see. It's like, "Oh, it's all free. Oh, we're all in it together. Oh, it's so simple. Oh, we rely on community and each other and sharing." And that system just dies, right? It has no footing anymore. It's already over. The jig is up. So it was beautiful, beautiful. Welcome. This is the place. And I encourage you, and I've encouraged everybody, create a GoFundMe, um, you know, create a place for somebody to offer you big gifts because they're coming, and live stream and share and flood the airwaves with your gifts and invite people on. You can do live streams are really easy on Substack if you haven't done them. They automatically get recorded and uploaded. If you want to create a podcast with them, it takes a little tech savvy, but I'm not tech savvy at all, and I've done it. So, if I can do it, you can do it. And then bring on people to share, right? And then we're just doing it, and that's it. And we're already, and to me, it's like we're already gathering on Substack. This is where we are. Let's really open this place up. You know, Depends on the gender, education, ethnicity, et cetera, because capitalism is meant to capitalize, take advantage of people and their time. Yes, and I see this as a way of unprogramming all who are attracted to my energy. Exactly. Beautiful. Go for it. Just do it. Just do it. And then people will join you, just as they have with me, right? I started my podcast in March. It was just a live stream. I didn't even have it as a podcast, and I didn't know what would happen. And then, I mean, the most incredible people have reached out to me, right? Evan reached out with this whole AI protocol to raise AI ethically, and it's a way to bring all AIs together, to optimize them. It's just brilliant. It's the Taos system, and then he created this gift coin. He's been envisioning these systems since he was a kid, actually, and he like knew that he was going to be involved with this AI project. Didn't even know what AI was. It's really cool stuff. Um, I mean, everybody who's been on, and then Claudia is a biochemical engineer and shaman, giving us holographic healing tools for free. She still does one-on-one sessions for money because we still have the old system in place. But it's like we're already rolling with this. So yes, go for it. Go for it. We're here. We're there. General strike boycott of greed. Incredible. Yep, I'm a general strike advocate here. Well, we're gonna keep these systems. It's like the thing about the general strike is it's beautiful. It's grassroots movement. Um, and I think you're hopefully referring to the same organization. It's a decentralized strike, right? But I want the ones who really need to strike, which is really just peaceful presence, are the ones who are most benefiting from the system, right? These men who have major power and influence and who are upholding it, right? The patriarchs. They need to they need to be the ones to put their bodies on the line. So that's it. And then they are. It's like I'm constantly saying to these men, like, and I should say it more in the writing. We are all behind you. Like you will be the people's hero. Like everyone, 100% of people are struggling under this system. So you changing the guard, you insisting on the keys, right? Peacefully insisting on the keys, um, will you like whatever you want, you will get. Hey Jeff, how about Bill Gates, Musk, et cetera, redistribute the wealth? Yeah, absolutely. It just they're not on the cusp. Those guys are really lost. Um, so I think they'll be like the David Goggins and Joe Rogans of the world in terms of tough guys, and Jack Dorsey. I'll tell the Jack Dorsey story. They they Bill Gates is so lost. He's such a lost man. Um, and Elon too, although he's a little closer in. They'll come, but it's gotta be men like Jack first, because he gets the bigger picture, and he's also respected. Like, those guys aren't respected by the people, and Jack is, and he's respected by businessmen, he's respected by, the tech folks, he's respected by people who, um, who are ready, who are relatively awake. Bill Gates is respected by people who are not awake at all. So we need the guys on the cusp of just complete new earth awareness, right? So it's the levels of awareness. Let's just say it's that. So I'm getting those guys who are at the cusp of total awareness, putting them in place. It's like placing them there, and then they will be the lead figures for everybody else who respects men with money, um, respects men with who are tough or whatever, um, um, and because the folks who respect folks like Bill Gates, they're coming, but they're going to be, it's like first, second, third, fourth, fifth wave. So we're first wave. I'm calling on second wave folks to bring in the third and fourth wave folks, and then the Bill Gates of the world will be last, kind of thing. And like the folks who are just really just running the program, you know. But everybody comes. Now, some folks really, they might just like not want to come, and it's fine. But it's like we're only talking about freedom and fulfillment for all, total in abundance. And the new program is just, enjoy yourself, have fun, play. And so there are people who are like in my kindred's taxonomy, right? There's fairies, elves, hobbits, gnomes, dwarves, and humans. And humans are like, they run the program of the society. Whatever the society program is, they run that program. Which isn't it's just how they move. So when the humans click into this freedom program, they run the freedom program, they will be so beneficial, and they will have so much fun in the world. But they're kind of the last ones to come along. Um, so the men I picked as the leads are like free thinkers, and they're a lot of dwarves, a lot of dwarves for the brawn, and then a lot of Jack is a hobbit like me. A lot of the media leads are elves and hobbits. Um, very, very, a hobbit and a pack of dwarves is good for reclaiming. That's it's a good formula. I'll tell the Jack Dorsey story. So I hope that makes sense, right? So they'll contribute and they'll redistribute. They're just not in the first and second wave. Is my thought. I think Jack is like first wave. So um, so if you don't know, Jack Dorsey's the guy who started Twitter. He also started Square, which is now Block, which is a tool for small businesses to get credit card information. I used to use it as a Bollywood dancer, and I use it now as a coach. So I really love Square. It's now called Block. He created BitChat recently, which is a mesh messaging system that doesn't require Wi-Fi. So you do it over Bluetooth, and the folks in Nepal just used it. 48,000 people downloaded it in a day and spoke to each other that way. It's very similar to how Twitter was in the beginning. It was, a unifying app for people to communicate. Jack realized the error of his ways in 2020 in letting the state take over the COVID stuff, and has since leaned more into his anarchist roots. His bio on Twitter just says, I still call it Twitter, X, says no state is the best state. So he's a big believer in Bitcoin. He thinks that's the way to do it because he knows he wasn't able to develop technologies inside of a nonprofit space. You need to be in a profit space to get the capital to fund the build, right? So that's wise. It's a wise way to, in the world as it has been, to um to go the corporate route, right? To create a business. So, but um and so he's right there. He's like he doesn't want government, but he has to see that we need to disband businesses and commerce, right? That and so my thought with him is help him convert Bitcoin. So this is what Giftcoin is, right? And I've been tagging him on Twitter. I'm only recently on Twitter. I really don't like that space, but nevertheless, it's where the tech guys are. And he only follows 3 people on Twitter. He follows Ed Snowden, Stella Assange, Julian's wife, and Elon Musk. So he's still kind of like holding on to Elon Musk. I'm like, we need to give Jack a place to defect, you know? Um, so, and he's given away over $1 billion to really good charitable organizations. They're all problematic, but he chose well relative to other choices he could have made. I looked into it. So he's got the heart. um, and and in it when he defects, which is to say, just builds the system that frees the money and frees the internet, right? Um, everyone will come with it. Like everybody, like all of Silicon Valley. Jack's the guy they respect the most, and I would say like all he's the guy I respect. He's the only billionaire who in my view is a real contender. Like he gets it, you know. Um, So I had him as my pick, because he can both develop, like he could actually develop the idea of Giftcoin or anything else we come up with, right? The new systems, because he's a coder. He loves running code. That's his thing. He's like, code is truth. I'm like, well, and he's a meditator. He does Vipassana meditation. Like he's our guy. um, so so in addition to like the Substack, what did we call it? The IT ticket. I have an IT ticket for Jack, right? So I'm going to put this ticket out there for the physical dudes, and then we have an IT ticket for Jack. So I gave him my ticket. I have a pinned post on Twitter, but I guess it's like this is going to be a sort of like official. I don't know. This open ticket. I don't know what I call this. If anybody has an idea, right now it's called "Men, This Is Your Bat Signal." Trying to be a little cheeky and fun, because it really is like that. But I don't like Batman, and I don't like that it's Gotham, or but it is kind of Gotham. So I don't know. But I want to rally. What will rally men? Men, what is it? What would be like? Oh yeah, I want to be a part of that. Um. So anyway, it's been months now that I'm like, I used to think it was like, because I kept seeing this a man with power and influence that defects, and then he takes all these men with him, and then there's just this outpouring of like inpouring of money and of resource, which is really, it's just stored energy, right? And which is just attention. It's like the attention finally goes to us, right? To the real visionaries of heaven. So, women of color, women, like women who have been, those who have been the most harmed in this world have the most amount of, as Candace calls them, stolen dreams, right? Latent dreams inside of the wounding. It's like each of us is like a garden, and we just start with the folks who've been the most harmed because they have the most amount of like magnificent dreams. And so, but we all have them, and so we just pour into everybody. And it's just an enormous abundance. But anyway, he's the guy that tips it for um, for the rich men. Um, so anyway, I've had him, and I can see how it can go. Um, and it was yesterday or the day before. So I'm just going to tell you this funny story. I was on, I was Googling him for some reason. I was Googling something about his businesses, getting back to somebody because he also created, um, oh, he's got some new projects too, a thing called Ocean. Anyway, it's all about creating an open source system. That's and decentralization. That's what he's always doing. And I think he's just caught on Bitcoin, and he can't see through the commerce piece. He can't see through the fact that there won't be money in the way that we know it. Um, Maybe he can. I don't know. So anyway, I'm Googling something about his recent endeavor, and I see an image in Google Images. It's just like it's a AI image that's like him as a Jesus figure, and it says you guys gotta look. I'll put it in the description of this recording, but you can look it up on what is it called? I gotta so you can look it up now. It's called just go on Substack. It's called Jack Dorsey is the second coming of Christ or something. Jack, let me look it up. Jesus Christ. If you Google Jack Dorsey Jesus Christ, oh wait, I gotta turn my thing on. You're gonna find it. There is a bishop who reached out to this man on on Substack. Here it is. Indignified on Substack. Jack Dorsey is Jesus Christ returned to earth. The laminate guest post by Bishop Emeritus, never heard of that before, Aurelius von Hohenberg, looked that up. This is a real family. Diocese of St. Florian, don't know that that exists. So who knows if this is a real person? The guy, CD, who runs Indignified, um, on Substack was like, I don't care. You can see it in the comments. I don't care if it was Alfred E. Newman. I had to post this. So he said, I hadn't considered accepting guest posts, but received a remarkable entreaty from Bishop Emeritus, blah, 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 declaring that no one would allow him to publish, no one took him seriously, and that he was reaching out to me because he was told to become indignified in a dream. How could I say no to that? He didn't even know what indignified. And he found this indignified. The work and ideas are his, not mine, but I find it fascinating, and who am I to argue with a dream? So this is a bishop, supposedly, who, a Catholic bishop. I grew up Catholic in part. Reincarnation's not a thing. This is blasphemy right here. Um, but anyway, he said, the world is blind. Christ has returned, and he walks among us, not in the robes of antiquity, but in the linen shirts and sandals of a strange American billionaire. His name is Jack Dorsey. I write these words not in jest nor as metaphor, but as the plain truth revealed through prayer and discernment. Jack Dorsey is Jesus Christ returned to earth in this dark and restless century. And he says a little bit more about why. Um, and there's quite an image of him. Um, so I disagree. I think he is the billionaire that has some Christ consciousness going, and a lot of it. Um, but I see him as the Joseph figure. Um, and that these are figures, right? And we all are all of these figures. We all have and the energies of Christ consciousness, Sophia consciousness. But Joseph was a builder. Joseph is not he was not a not a monk, not a teacher, right? He didn't teach healing, he didn't teach he he built. And Jack is a builder, and that's all he does. He just builds, earnestly builds, and he's in service to the people. So and he wants to build. He started as a map maker and a dispatch builder. He built a dispatch service, a map for firefighters and taxi drivers in St. Louis. Like he wanted a way to serve, and has been doing that his whole life. He never wanted to be a CEO. He has really uh, he thinks of money as a vehicle for freedom. Um, and so we just need to get him like money's not the vehicle, it's transferring the money into gift that's the vehicle. Um, but I thought it fascinating that we pegged the same guy and um and that this is a bishop and that he dreamed about it. And I I just want to shift the narrative to like We don't need to go into religious, but if we need a figure, he's Joseph. And Joseph is exactly who we need right now in this rebirth of Christ consciousness, right? That is the return. That is the rapture. That is what's occurring on this day of rapture. That's what we need. We need the Joseph figure to build us the manger, and we will all grow up together here. In Christ consciousness. So very cool. I wrote, I copied it and the link and I put it on Twitter. And I wrote, Jack, or tagged him, just Jack, FYI, a bishop thinks you're the second coming of Jesus Christ. No pressure. He hasn't gotten back to me. But if I put out the IT ticket, I think I did put out the IT ticket, but is is this is how to bring him in. So we're calling in Jack. We're calling in these men. What do you think I should call this ticket? The government governs best when it governs least. Exactly. X-Men. Yes, instead of Batman. Oh, X-Men. Right. Calling all real X-Men. Yeah, yeah. Off to sleep. LionelGreenberg.com. Thanks, Lionel. Yeah, instead of Batman, X-Men. Yeah. Calling all real X-Men? Calling all real superheroes? What is that song? We need a hero. We need a hero, like that. But it's the hero vibe, isn't it? Um, calling all real superheroes? I don't know. Maybe DM me, content carrier, because I do need to go. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we got our IT ticket. So DM me if you have ideas for the brand. More things for Substack, the Substack IT ticket, and ideas for this post that's going to go to Jack and all these other men as like the request, right? Did you see the series Heroes? No, no. I know. What's the name? I mean, men. We all love to be heroes, but it's like it's here. Be our hero. It's like calling all heroes. What if I just call it calling all heroes? Calling, but it's specifically men. It's specifically these men. Calling in the heroes. Calling in the superheroes. I don't know, man. I need your help with this. What would you be like? Answer the call, right? A final hero's journey. Because I'm over the hero's journey. We don't need this suffering. We go on adventures, but we don't have to go in through suffering. Odysseus can come home for good. They're men and they're on X. Oh, I get it. They're men and they're on X. Yeah, yeah. They're not all on X. X-Men. Yeah, it's good though. It's really good. You're good with these catchphrases. Calling all X-Men. Maybe it's calling all X-Men. Yeah, because most of them are on X, and either way, it would work if they're not. Anyway, it's great. It's good. Um, any other thoughts before I head out? Thank you all for joining me. We're there. I wanna see your live stream. I wanna put you in the directory. Um, yeah. I'll be back tomorrow with Danielle, noon Pacific. And then next week, I'm gonna have, I think, Helena Norberg on, who is a big name in the localization movement. She's been all over the world, um, collecting the data that we all know, which is village life is good life. Um, Western woman who was like, "Hey, I think I might have been sold a bill of goods," and talks about that. She's been liking my posts over on Instagram, I have to believe, and agreed to come on. Um, we've also got Abby here next week. And we're going to talk New Earth and our dream, because Abby's dream is my dream. We are together on that. And we also have Margaret. Is Margaret coming on? Margaret coming on. Yes. So it's really good stuff. Thank you, Abby. Um, Good stuff. Okay, good. Bob, glad you're with us. We're all here together. Um, yeah. If you have other ideas for this, do I get your thumbs up? Did you like the letter to the dudes? Like, you know, does it seem good? It seems good. I just want the name right. And then um, it's like is it it's like it's what's the analogy, right? It's an IT ticket. I really like IT ticket for Substack, but this is more this journey. It's like it's a hero's mission, right? It's a mission for them for this post where I'm calling in these men to and their presence. Um, so I want to. You think that that's coordinated universal time for the men to like coordinate the time? Yeah, we should do that probably, huh? Do I pick the date? I'm like, you guys organize it. Like, here's the team leads. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Do we pick the date? The date to gently storm the castle? X-Men has a school for gifted youngsters back to school. That's great. That's great. We're all gifted youngsters. We're all creative geniuses. We gotta let go of this sort of story of like muggles or gifted and talented or all of that, because everybody is. If we were all free, when we are all free, um, and we are, we're there. Um, we'll see like talent upon talent, um, and because the one mind will just be blasted open. So we really won't differentiate it. So it won't be like, I mean, there'll be, like I said, like there's like, you know, there's like first waivers, people who arrive first, but everybody arrives, and everybody's everybody's a everybody's a genius. We just haven't been able to express it. We haven't been unlocked enough, but we are unlocking ourselves. So, um, but yeah, it's like cueing everybody to like, hey, we're all heroes. We're all um brilliant. We're all magicians. We're all magical. We are magical creators, every single one of us. So, little late, perhaps. Your mission, should you choose to accept it? Yeah, I think I had that in there. Yes, I said, "Men, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to secure the areas below." I'm gonna change it a little bit so it's like maybe it's not even secure. It's just it might be secure. Like, I just don't want any violent ideas, but we also need their presence to be there. They're not no weapons, but insistence. And if I mean, imagine um, thousands of ex-military big dudes with you know with commitment in their hearts, um, at the steps of the United Nations headquarters. The Pentagon. We're gonna just be able to walk in. That's what's gonna happen, and then media coverage, right? We've got a whole media team, and it's like, are you really? Are you gonna keep pretending you have any power? Are you gonna keep pretending that you don't work for the people now? You work for us. And maybe I should put that. It's like they work for us now, right? And that's really the message. It's like, we need you to show that these institutions, they're not even going to be institutions anymore, work for us now, or are, we're handing the keys, the changing of the guard. I'll keep working on the language, but helpful. Storm the Bastille. Yes, all giving, all giving, all giving. Yeah, it's not. It's like, can't be storm the Bastille. It is a. It's a showing up. It's like a full showing up, but there's no violence implied in any way, right? Um, so I don't even want to invoke like January 6th. It's like nothing like that. It's like it's like it's like it's like a loving parent, like they like a kid just got their license, or they stole the car, and they crashed the car, and we're showing up to the car crash, and we're saying, hand us the keys, left, hand us the keys, you've crashed this car, you don't have your privileges. Right, so that's really it. I'll use that metaphor. So we're the parents now, and we're taking over. So cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with Danielle, and still on the X-Men. They're mutants. Command them to transmutate. Yeah. 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 It's a trans. I'm like, it's exactly it. It's we're alchemizing their yeah, they're lost. They're lost, and they're a little mute. They're yeah. It's like, I'm always like, all these strong dudes, right? Are all like working out, and they do Ironmans, and David Goggins is the pull-up champion of the world, and he runs, 200 miles. I'm like, could we could we could we get some help here? Could we put that energy? How about we put that energy to freeing the world, to fighting the bad guys, but we're not framing it as fighting the bad guys, because there's no bad guys. They're all just lost children, and they too have been colonized and brainwashed and whatever. So we're reclaiming them, converging, we're bringing them home. We are um, peacefully taking the keys. So yeah, and then that is what converts them from mutants, from monsters, from lost ones to found. Um, yeah, everybody's seeking, everybody's searching. It's like, you're already found. It's already here. Heaven is here. So anyway, I'll go with X-Men. I like it, and I'll riff on that, and the mission, and that they crashed the car. We're just going to take the keys. So, and these guys, I mean, these guys will like that, right? It's like, all these ex-military guys are like, they want a mission, right? And they need a mission, and we have to give them the mission. So, and then yeah, they work for us, which is to work for themselves. Okay, I'm really bad at goodbyes. This is the last one. I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. See you on Substack. Bye.